after this experience, I mean, everybody was like, oh, Vogue, Vogue, Vogue. I mean, it's nice, but I mean, you have not even to be afraid about this magazine. It's a beautiful magazine since many, many years, but I mean, they are also working normal people. So it's not nothing that I know a lot of photographers are afraid to approaching Vogue, but I think, why not? I mean, you have to try.
Hi, my name is Dasha Pears, and you are listening to my Inspiration in Action podcast. The goal of this podcast is to allow you to be inspired by and learn from other creatives, their process, where they get the ideas from, how they make a living and view the world. Today I have a very special guest for you. First of all, because she is not a photographer, but worked with photographers over 30 years in magazines like Vogue and Elle. Petra Barkhof is a stylist and deputy editor in one of the most celebrated kids fashion magazines, KIDSWEAR. She is also the founder of the new and awesome Scimparello magazine. We talk about how a photographer should approach editors if he or she wants to see her work published, what is the best way to find the right people to pitch your portfolio to, and how kids fashion photography industry is different from adult fashion. Please enjoy and make notes.
Hi. Morning.
Hello.
Yeah, you're so welcome, and I'm sure you won't disappoint. The thing is, I wanted to ask you the first, how did it come into the world of fashion? Was it you were interested in it since you were a child, or did it happen by chance? Or how did it happen?
No, I was maybe not, I was every time I loved dressing and, but I don't know, I was like also a model when I was very young.
Oh, okay.
So, but not a very famous model. I mean, I'm 1.70 meters, so, but it was like more, in Germany and in the country, but it was nice. So I liked fashion a lot, but I never thought to work in fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came, so because in Germany it was necessary that you study fashion, that you are very, very well prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like in a complete different thing. I was studying gymnastic, and so yeah, it was like really, I was not at all. But I don't know. I never know exactly what I wanted to do. So it was more an experience. Then I moved to Ibiza for some years, and there I made dresses and I sold on the hippie market. Yeah. So I mean, fashion was always a thing I liked a lot, but I come to work in fashion when I go to live in Italy, and somebody was they were looking at Vogue for a job it was not a fashion editor, it was more like an advertising job. And I started, I didn't even know. So a friend of mine said, no, you have to go, and maybe, and I said, but I never did this work before. How can I do it? And so I went there, and I was sitting in front of an empty paper to fill up my experience and everything. So I was like completely afraid. And then I was written down that I speak English and German and Italian and Spanish. And then when I thought maybe I got the job because of all these languages that I spoke, because at that time in Italy, people does not speak very well English. People does not speak, I mean, German, not at all. And so I got the job, and then I started to work there. And then it was the time when Jill Sander came out and Boss get famous, all these big German brands. And nobody from the Italian editors, nobody wants to go to Germany. And they said, oh, it's horrible, and the fashion is horrible. And so I started to do like a job in between the editorial part and the advertising part. So I brought the closest to Italy, because they were all advertising clients. And so it started like this. And then years after, I changed, and I worked for German Elle, like a correspondent, and then I moved completely to the editorial team, and was not anymore at the advertising team. I think this was really good also to have this experience, because I like to do a lot of different things. So I think you need now more than ever. I think you need to have that. You don't do only one thing. You need. I mean, you have to be open to learn also other
Yes,
things.
yes. And I think that the most valuable people, maybe they are in between different professions or different specializations, when you can do some like people write me like, oh, I want to be a photographer, but this specific type of photographer, but I also like to make videos, or I also like to make something else, and they're like, I cannot choose. But maybe you don't have to choose. Maybe you can like blend them somehow. So
I think, yes, I think it's better that you don't. I mean, the more you can. I have now my assistant. She is like, she loves fashion, and for her everything is new. She's 23, and she's also very, very good in graphic. So I said, then this is maybe, I said, you have to study a little bit more about this, because you have a talent also for this. So maybe put this two things together. I think this is very, very important. And I sent her. She still does not speak very well English, so I said, you have to go. She's now in America, she comes back in the beginning of September, and I said, so now she has to she speak a little bit better. So I think this is very important.
yeah. What was the one thing that you one most valuable thing that you got from the experience of working in Vogue and Elle?
I don't know. I learned to do styling from, I mean, I know exactly what advertising clients want, because I mean, this is very important for a magazine.
Yes, that's so important.
So, and then I learned really organization from the beginning, to ordering clothes, to get in contact with the showrooms. And I think, I mean, Vogue for me was really how do you say, a visit card. I mean, after this experience, I mean, everybody was like, oh, Vogue. I mean, it's nice, but I mean, you have not even to be afraid about this magazine. I mean, it's a beautiful magazine since many years, but I mean, they are also working normal people, so it's not nothing that people are very. I know a lot of photographers are afraid to approaching Vogue, but I think, why not? I mean, you have to try.
Yeah. And okay, speaking of that, how do you approach magazine? What are the best ways, in your opinion?
The first thing is that you have really to try to get the right contact, because I get a lot of I mean, we have like at KIDSWEAR, and with Scimparello it's a bit easier, because we have now not so many emails. I mean, I have at KIDSWEAR, we have like a contact email and an editorial email. So everybody is writing to the contact email, and the contact email is full of I don't know, spam, everything. So it's not. I mean, I get like on my personal email, I get like more than 100 emails a day. So it's incredible. It's incredible. So sometimes happen. I think you have to insist, and you have to find the right person to contact, and then, I mean, you can send your portfolio. You can send now a lot of magazines asking for directly for submissions, that for if you do like an editorial, and then you send it. And yeah, it has to be. I mean, it's depend also. You need to have a look at the magazine, what kind of photography they are choosing, and I think it's very difficult to, if you are not in the right mood, it's not, I don't know, if you shoot something that you think this could fit in this magazine, then try in this. But maybe the other shoot you are doing is not so adapted for this magazine, then you don't send it to the magazine. I mean, you need a little bit to choose. I mean, you can first of all send your portfolio, and then the people, maybe I have a look and I say, oh yeah, this is maybe could be, and then you need to try it. You need to try to approach the magazine. But I think the most important thing is to find the right contact, and not to send to info mails. Or I know this sometimes is very difficult, but I mean, also today it's possible you take the phone and you are calling the magazine and asking, because normally you find only the info mail on the website. And I know nowadays also my assistants are every time on the phone, but the WhatsApp and going to the emails, and sometimes maybe a phone call is even better than an email.
Yeah, that's actually a very good tip, because I don't think that anyone thinks of actually calling a magazine, because
I mean,
yeah, people are also intimidated. It's written on the website, this is the email, choose this email.
Yeah, but I mean, you can ask for the photo editor, or I mean, maybe not the editor-in-chief will answer you, but I mean, the photo editor, normally in a big magazine, there's a photo editor. And if you have smaller magazines, you can also try a fashion editor, or maybe, I don't know, now it's also even maybe easier to get a personal contact via Instagram. I mean, if you send a message to Instagram and you know this is the fashion editor of this magazine you want to approach, and then try to send an email, try to send a message on Instagram also. This could be a good idea.
Yes, yeah, that's such a great tip. And how is it organized in magazines for people who don't know? Magazines also do their own editorial, but then they also accept some work from outside. What is the percentage of, like, how much do they do themselves, and how much do they accept from other, like, from people out there?
I don't know. I think in the very, very important print magazines do their work by, they don't accept submissions. Because I mean, I saw also Milk magazine, the most of the production they produce by themselves. I'm working here in Italy with a magazine. I'm doing like fashion stories for them. They produce by their own. I mean, I'm like a freelance contributor. I mean, normally now the magazines, when they put editorials online, then they're accepting a lot of submissions, because I mean, this is easier. And maybe when you start submitting online, then if you do a nice job, it could also happen that they call you and they say, okay, we wanted to do an editorial with you for the magazine. Why not?
Okay. And what is the difference, do you think, between paper magazines and online magazines? Should people even consider online magazines? How are they, like, are they valid? Are they powerful? Or maybe like paper magazines are going away because everything is going digital? What's your
This is a difficult question, because I mean, you have to consider my Scimparello magazine. It's only online. I mean, no, I think online magazines are very valuable. It is maybe a bit more difficult to, when you are the magazine, to get the magazine, to get money for the magazine, because maybe brands are not investing in normal advertising pages. They wanted, they do it still in print, but also very, very less. And I mean, I don't know. I have my daughter, she is 42, and I think she never bought a magazine. So she's only looking online. I mean, it's a bit, I mean, I'm a paper lover. So I think, you are looking at pictures, and in the magazine on paper, it's a bit different. It's like more like books. But I think now if I buy a magazine, it has to be a magazine really I like, with some little bit more, I don't know, nice paper, or not a normal magazine. I mean, I would not buy, I don't know, Grazia or even Elle or Marie Claire. I don't buy anymore. I have a look maybe sometimes online, but I think is a good combination if you have like both. If you can have the print and the online, it's good. And yesterday, I spoke yesterday to to a photographer who wanted to collaborate with me, and she said to me, maybe we were talking about how to do maybe the work, and she said maybe it would be also nice to have getting the pictures in movement when you are online. So maybe, yeah, this could be maybe also, I mean, you can do also the online magazine normally, and when you post on Instagram or something, that pictures comes to life. So this could be maybe a very good idea also to do to use more the photography, not only once in online. So I think this
becomes multimedia basically.
Yes.
It's really like
Yeah.
a very cool idea, of course.
I think it's a good idea, and I mean everybody is now looking at I mean, I'm a little bit sad about all the people. A lot of people are following Instagram accounts of influencers that are not very well done. I mean, they don't have beautiful pictures, and then you see pictures, you see some accounts with the most beautiful pictures, and they have very, very few followers. And I mean, not that it is so important, but I think people are, it's like in every artistic movement now, it's a bit, the quality is going a bit down. So I think we have really to, I only want to do beautiful things. So I hope that, I insist, I said, okay, I go ahead like this. Also, if I have not, I don't know, 1 million of followers, maybe it's.
But definitely, we can do as much as we can do, and you're doing your thing. You're finding those photographers who do amazing work, and you have your own concept and perspective, and you're collecting it in the Scimparello magazine. I know how to pronounce it now.
Yeah.
So that's your contribution into making more beauty in this world. I think that's a great thing. And this is what I thought, that maybe everything is going more online and people are not buying that paper magazines anymore. But if I want to buy something, of course I want it to be like a beautiful object, so that I can nice to touch, nice to feel. What do you like, according to you, in your opinion, what are the magazines that are worth buying in paper right now? Which are the best? What do you buy?
I like Kinfolk. I like Flow also, the magazine Flow. It's not a fashion magazine, but it's, I think they have some paper objects and something. So I don't know, I like another magazine. I don't know, I like more niche magazines. So I think it's yeah. I like it when they are printed well, and then when they have very nice photography inside. And in kids magazines, it's quite difficult. I like Milk also, not so. I mean, I thought for the transformation, I liked it more. Now it's a bit more, I don't know, I like it a little bit less. They do like they do from a kids magazine. I don't know, for those who does not know it, it's a French magazine. And they, before there was like more kids oriented. Now they're doing like moms and kids, and it's a bit more. But I think it's every time very difficult to have magazines with too many, all the people want, the brands want a kids magazine, or they want like a woman's fashion magazine. So, I mean, in terms of doing a magazine and getting advertising, it would be very difficult to get women's advertising in a magazine that is more for kids. So it's not, I think it's better to go in one direction, and then I mean you can okay.
And tell us about Scimparello. Is it more focused on kids fashion, or lifestyle?
No, it's more focused on kids fashion, but it's also lifestyle. I mean, I do some interviews of people that I like, and they're interesting people, and from the fashion business, but not only. And I giving the magazine a theme. So I started with islands because it was like where I started to get in contact with fashion. And then I did like traveling, and so now the next issue will be about dreams.
Yes.
And I don't know, I will interview people who maybe the dream came through, or they're dreaming something. I don't know. I think it's important to have interesting people. Does not matter what they are doing, or if they don't have to work in fashion only. But I like the kids. I like to present the kids fashion in a little bit different way, not too commercial. I mean, I want like still like artistic work in the pictures, and I have also in each issue I have like a fashion story illustrated. So if somebody, I'm looking still for an illustrator for the next issue.
Oh,
so,
yes, guys,
yeah,
if you're an
if so.
illustrator, maybe, because there are actually many illustrators also following me. So, well, what are the requirements for an illustrator?
No, I don't know. It's like the thing I like. I don't know. I need to like it. It's a big story. I think it's normally, illustrators in magazines are always used like only to illustrate one piece or something like this. But I decided to do like a real fashion story, that from the beginning it could be like a story you do when you do a photo shoot. You are thinking about the theme, you are thinking about that is something happened in how it goes, and the things together, and the dresses. And normally I send the illustrators, we are talking first about the thing, and then I send pictures from dresses to the illustrators, and then they illustrate. They get a big choice, and they can use it on the girls or boys they are painting. And so it is really a fashion story. And I think this is thing also brands like a lot. So I think illustration has to come back a little bit more. It was like get a bit lost in magazines.
And I love how in your magazine there are many photos that are illustrated, and they look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So I also tried to do some illustrated photography. I actually, the way I was shooting, it wasn't just me taking photos and then taking them to an illustrator. I was actually shooting with the idea in mind that there's something will be drawn after I shoot.
After, yeah.
So like my model is actually kind of like interacting with the. So it's actually a very challenging project. I'm still in the process because there are two people, and that it just takes time. And there's also the technical part, which I have to learn how to put the illustration on the photo that it looks natural. So it's
I never thought about. I never did a photo shoot that I thought out after they have to illustrate something over it. It came like we did the shooting, and I choose a picture for the first issue. I choose a picture, and I was contacting Anna Strumpf. She is this fantastic illustrator in Brazil, and I don't know. So I asked her. I thought, oh, she will never do anything, because I'm really I'm trying to do all by myself. I don't have investments, so I need people maybe working for me because they like to do it at the moment. I hope that this will change. And I asked her, and at the beginning she said, yeah, I don't know, I don't have so much time. And then I sent her the layout of the magazine, and then she accepted it. And now she was writing me, and she said to me, Petra, I would like to do another work for you. So I said, oh, I was so happy. So I will have something in the next issue again. So I think, I don't know, it's also yesterday also this photographer contacted me, and then she said to me, I know you're such a nice person. And so I was like really happy that people enjoying. It's nice to enjoy working with other people. So I think this is really important, that you like that people are interacting to you, that maybe you can learn something from. I'm still learning every day. So
this is what I'm preaching to all of my audience. Like, people do work with other people, because it's so valuable. It's precious when you learn from interaction all the people I collaborated with, they took me where I am now. I wouldn't be able to do it all by myself. And yeah, I also have like a huge thing for illustration. I take a lot of inspiration from illustration, and I would really appreciate if you give me a link to that illustrator that you just mentioned.
Yes.
But I also wanted to ask you about how important it is for a photographer to know the audience of the magazine that he's kind of trying to pitch, or she trying to pitch the work to.
I don't think you need to know the audience because you are doing a photo shoot for somebody. No, you have to do it because you feel it. It's like I don't know, it's like really a feeling that it's not that you wanted to. Of course, I mean, no, I never thought about the audience when I'm having ideas or trying to. Of course, maybe it's more the magazine, because maybe this magazine I work for, one magazine is a bit more commercial, so I know I don't have to exaggerate with kids. But I think it's every time you have to use your style, your ideas. And to me, it happens now a lot of times that I don't know. Also the people said, where do you get your inspirations from? So often I get the inspirations from films. I like to get films or personalities. I don't know if you have seen on my Instagram account, I did like a story with Anna Piaggi. Anna Piaggi was like a very important woman here in it. She died already many years ago, but she was like an incredible person I met on the fashion shows. She was like the muse of Karl Lagerfeld. She was like dressed every time so particular, and then I choose some of her outfits, and then I made like a story with the kids. And it
idea. Wow, that's the first time I hear that you can be inspired by a person. Yeah, but go on.
Yeah, and then I did it also for Iris Apfel. I did like a story with it, and the kids having so much fun, because normally they don't know who is the person, when you say Iris. Then I was talking, I explained them, and I sent them pictures, and then when they see their picture with like this glasses from either, and it was really funny. They had a lot of fun with doing this. Or I get inspiration from films that I like.
For example,
I did like Moonrise. Yeah, I did like Moonrise Kingdom. I mean, I love Wes Anderson's films because of the color. I mean, this is my.
Yes.
I think he's like one of my favorite directors. And I mean, I get from his films, I get inspiration of colors. I get inspiration of. So I did like Moonrise Kingdom, and then let me say, I did. Recently I did Pippi Langstocking.
Yes.
But I do this often. I like to bring something from the adult world to the kids world, but it has to be every time a bit more. I wanted to do. So I was like thinking about to do Stranger Things, but then at the magazine that I worked for, they don't wanted it, and then other people did it. So I said, oh my God, this was like I would love to have done this work. But I mean, there are so many films you can do a lot of, and then sometimes I think, I don't know how it comes, but now I'm thinking in the next issue, I will do like a 80 disco story. So but it's like it comes like to me. I have not seen it in other things, but now that when I thought about, I said, I have to do it, and then I don't know, I see it comes out. I don't know, I think it's like it's not that you are copying something. It comes to my mind, and then maybe after 2 weeks I saw maybe
notice.
It's something you have to, how you say it, you have to see what's going around in the world. So, and I think it's important that the kids having fun doing it. I mean, I know exactly now this 80 stories, the kids will have a lot of fun because it's very the
kids models. So do you also only work with now kids fashion, or do you also do adult fashion editorials?
No, I don't. I mean, I did before a lot of adult fashion, but not at all. Sometimes happened that maybe a brand, they do kids and women, that I do something, but no, I'm not interested anymore in doing women's fashion.
What is the main difference between kids fashion and adult fashion?
Yeah, it's more I like it more because it's more creative, because you never know. I mean, you doing also, you never know what happened, because you think kids are so unpredictable. They never know what's going on. Then it's very difficult, because maybe for the shoe size, when you have adults, exactly they have normally 40, and the kids now, I don't know, you get a 6-year-old and they have 35, and then you don't get the shoes. You never know if you have shoes, or if they fit in. So with the sizes, it's a bit more difficult. And I mean, kids are more, you cannot say to a kid, you stay there, like a model, smile, go. It's different. You have to approach the kids in a complete different way.
Yes. Shooting with kids is, of course, much more challenging.
Yeah.
I've worked with both, and of course, I prefer to work with those who are already like 6+. But the little ones, they're like,
yeah. No, the little ones is really, I did like, now it's a long time that I don't do babies, but I did like a big job for Prenatal. It's this big brand in Italy, very commercial. And we were like it was still a glorious moment when we could travel. We went to South Africa and we had all these babies around. And then we had like, and this is also it makes me really upset, because if you work for such a big campaign, you need like 3 babies for 1 picture, because maybe you have every time babies, this is the preferred one, and then the other second is like when this is crying, you're using the moms get so upset because they did, you cannot tell them your baby is the second choice. And this is really some of the part of the work that is not so nice. But I mean, you have to do it with you cannot, if you have really big catalog or something, you cannot wait that until a baby. I mean, if you do an editorial shoot, you say, okay, you wait. If the baby's crying, you can wait. But if you have like an advertising shooting, you need other babies, and then so often the parents are very upset.
Yeah, well, that's another challenging part of about kids photography, because you need to deal not just with the kids who can be complicated, but their parents as well. So that's twice as much people usually. And tell me about your creative process for styling. So we already spoke about how you get ideas, and then what happens? Okay, you have an idea. What do you do?
Yeah, I have like so I have the idea, and then I do like a research. Now it is much easier than before, because before you need to go to a bookstore, or you have to go and see old paper magazines or something. Now you have Pinterest or Instagram, and you can do like choosing pictures and from the theme you want to do. And then I'm after the idea, I choose more or less the colors. And then I start working very close to the photographer, to my assistant, everybody. I involved all the hair and makeup, and I said, what do you think? Do you have ideas? I mean, I like really to work in teamwork, not that
take contributions.
Yes, okay. Exactly. So, and then we said, okay, do we go to shoot in location, or do we go to shoot in the studio? And it depends on what kind of idea you have. And then we start looking for the location. And when we find the location, then I start ordering, or my assistant, no, I don't do it anymore. My assistant is very, very good. She's ordered. I said, okay, we choose the closest from lookbooks. We have like from all the brands here in Italy and in France, we have like PDF lookbooks, and we choose the clothes we want, and we send emails to the PR office or directly to the and then when the clothes comes in, then we are putting all on the floor, and we putting together the looks we wanted to do. And sometimes with the kids, it's difficult to, you choose something and then it does not fit when the kid is maybe too slim, and then you have to change. I mean, you have to be very flexible. when you are styling, I mean, you can do like a base before, but you have to be flexible with kids. You cannot, we have every time also some things extra that we said, okay, this could maybe fit with this, or, and yeah. That's
how do you choose the models?
The models normally I choose from the agencies, and it depends. I mean, if I wanted to, I did also, now I remember, I did also a film. It's called N with an E. It's like a series, and there obviously when I wanted to do something like this, I look like for a model like really looking the same as the actor, and so. But if it depends. When I do editorials, I use also maybe kids they've never worked before, because when they do too long, when kids modeling too long, I think they lose their spontaneous.
Yeah.
So often, I mean, when you need to do an advertising, for me, it's every time better to have kids that I already know, because then maybe you have to do quick things. I don't know. It's difficult to use a new kid when you have never worked with this. So you never know. You never know. Often the moms want that the kids are modeling, and the kids doesn't want it. So there are like, I mean, there are like more the boys than the girls. The girls maybe like it more, but it's often the mom is like pushing, and then the kid is. So also, if some mom is listening to us, please, if your kid does not want or is shy, or please don't push them to do modeling. I think this is not, I don't know. I didn't like to take pictures before. Now I'm okay. but I think when a kid does not like to be photographed or is shy, and I think this is really, really bad thing. So if you have a child open-minded and wanted to and you see that the kid like to be to take pictures, then go ahead. But if you have also a beautiful shy child, don't do it. I mean, it's really
How do you choose photographers to work with?
I choose first of all I choose if I like the pictures, the light, and also the ideas of when I see the portfolio. And then for me it's also very important the human, the contact. I don't know, I think you need to understand exactly that you even don't have to talk, you know exactly this is okay, we do it like this. And so it's often also very personal. But I mean, of course, it's first of all, it's the thing that I like, the pictures the photographer does. We are looking also, I work also very close with the photographer. I mean, sometimes, I don't know, you know, maybe you are shooting and then you don't see, and I say, or maybe shoot from this side, maybe could be better. I don't know. We have like, I have really a nice contact with all the photographers I work with.
Yeah, because for me it's really interesting to know how it happens. I worked with, like, on a regular basis, on a very, very tight connection with 2 stylists, and this is how it was. We were like always helping each other, and on location they helped me, like, you probably now she can do this kind of thing, like helping me direct the model a little bit, like giving me ideas, because sometimes it's just I would never think of it, and they have like a brilliant idea. Why not use it? And of course, when we're getting ready for the shoot as well, it's like close communication. But I know that photographers, they don't even care about the whole style. They just come, they're like ding ding, and that's it.
It happened. I don't like to work with photographers like this. So I prefer every time teamwork. I mean, because when you are working with kids, you have also, I mean, I have like my hair and makeup, I would say girl, but she's not a girl. It's a girl. So, and she's also entertaining the kids, you know. I mean, we are doing all this stuff together. We are doing that the kids are like smiling, or I don't know, but that what we need of the picture. So it's we work every time very close.
Yeah, that's I think that's really important, especially for the teamwork. The connection, the personal connection is really, really what's what's needed.
Yeah.
What do you think are like? Do you, when you work with Scimparello, do you somehow follow or research the latest fashion trends, or?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm looking for the. I mean, I go and visit all the fairs. I go to Pitti in Florence. Pitti Bimbo is the most important fair in the KIDSWEAR. Then we have Playtime in Paris. There is also Playtime New York and Shanghai now and Tokyo. In Paris, you find all brands, and then I go also to CIFUs in Copenhagen. And after this, I know more or less the trends. What are the trends? But I mean, in kids fashion, it's every time repeating. There's no real trend. I mean, I saw now the trends. The trends was like the last year the same. Everybody said you call them different, but I think the trends are really. I mean, now again, it's space and it's animal print, but it was already, I mean, yeah, you have to invent some trends. I mean, you have to invent them because there are, maybe it's more the materials or something, but something really new, I don't see it. I think maybe it's also the mix of the things. How do you wear it? It's different.
Yeah. And when you consider photography material, do you pay attention to the brands, like to the actual clothes? Of course, you do probably.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted at the moment at Scimparello, it's not I don't take care of the clothes so much. I mean, I like to push more younger brands and new brands, because it's in the in the very commercial magazine, it works like this. You have the advertising, you have a list, and then you have to use this clothes from the advertisers. And you not often you have the possibility to put clothes from brands that they don't advertise because there's no space. So I try to do, sometimes I put something in also from not advertising, but so I said no at Scimparello, as I don't have advertising at the moment. I wanted to put inside the clothes and the brands I really like. So at the moment I can do it. I mean, but you have to survive. You have to find a good balance, I think. Somebody asked, are you friends?
I feel like we're very much.
We met yesterday the first time really in video, but we could be friends. Yeah, we could be
definitely
friends.
I feel like actually like we'll be running out of time pretty soon. Like I'm seeing that we'll have like maybe 5 minutes more, but really I could talk to talk to you for ages.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We can do it again, maybe.
Definitely.
I don't know if you have something to talk about. We can do that again.
Yeah, I have so many topics. I was wondering, like, since we were talking about brands, when you do your own photo shoot, like when you style, do you also enjoy working with just like brands that are starting out, or do you really want to work like with high-end, like Fendi?
No. If I do my photo shoots, I like also to work with new brands, very new brands. So contact me brands if I like the clothes. I mean, it's quite difficult also with the brands. They have the most of them are doing more or less the same. So there's not often you find something very new, creative, new. But I like to work with the young new brands. Yeah.
What are your favorite? Can you tell? Like maybe you have like maybe several names.
I don't know. I have like a favorite. It's not even such a young brand, but I mean, it's my personal favorite, and it's called Pero. I'm also wearing dresses it's an Indian designer. She's making also kids clothes, and I think this is really my absolute favorite. But I have a lot of nice brands. I mean, I love all the Spanish brands. There are some Portuguese brands, very, very creative.
Wolf and Rita.
Yeah, Wolf and Rita is very nice. There's a German brand. She moved to Portugal now. It's called Lilu. It's also a very, very beautiful brand. And I mean, there are the Animals Observatory, Bobo Choses. I will not miss somebody, but no. I like all the brands in Spain. There are also, I like them a lot. There are a lot of creative, very nice, very, very nice brands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about Finnish?
Finnish fashion. I know only one brand, one Finnish brand. It called. I was like, Papu, maybe.
Papu?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I see them every time in playtime in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know a lot of Finnish. But we can discover it. We can discover them.
Yes. Well, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was such a pleasure for me to talk to you today. It was really, really, and I hope we'll do it again. And I actually hope to come to Milan and meet
Yes.
in person.
Yeah,
and
me too.
work with you. It would be like, whoa.
Yeah, we can. I mean, I love your photography, and I'm so happy that I meet you. And I think the internet is something incredible. So you can meet so many people from all over the world and very interesting people. And yeah, I would love to talk about maybe also doing, we did not talk about, but how it was like creating the magazine or something like this, so we can talk about.
Yes, definitely. We'll definitely do it again. But right now I have a final question, since we're talking a lot about photography. What do you think makes a great photograph?
It's the light. I think the light is very important, and it's also the point of view. I like a lot also very graphic. You do sometimes very graphic styles. I like a lot, but I like also very spontaneous photography. So I mean, kids, you can really get in so many. You have to wait. You need a bit of time also to catch kids really. But I think the light is the most important thing.
And one final question. I totally agree with that, especially like I think like photographing kids is a special type of art. What is your biggest dream as a creative person?
As a creative person, my biggest dream would be to print the Scimparello magazine.
Yeah.
Do it really in a very creative way, that it would be like an object with, I love different types of papers and very particular handwriting or something. Yeah, I would. This is my biggest dream, is to print it.
Yeah. It's very understandable. I hope to see it in print and pretty soon. And I think that I really hope that this interview will help you to find more people who would love to work with you, more brands, more photographers, definitely. I can bring you maybe in a couple of months again. We can talk about, maybe then you will have your new issue of
Scimparello. Of course. Yeah.
And we can talk about that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so great again.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Dasha.
This wraps the episode up. Thanks so much for listening. All the names and resources that we mentioned can be found in the show notes to this episode. Go to dashapears-art.com/podcast. If you like this podcast, please go to your podcasting app and hit like. It helps more people benefit from the content I'm putting out there. Now, until next time, take care, guys.